No, you're good.
All right, now we have the Ohio State contingent with head coach Nadine Musverall and two players, Joy Dunn and Reagan Kirk. This is Ohio State's second national championship. They won 2 years ago in 2022. Congratulations, Coach. And opening statement here for the press.
What do you say? I mean, I'm just very humbled to be sitting here. You have these visions throughout the year, but when it really happens, it seems so surreal. Again, first, congrats to the players and all their hard work that they put in throughout the year. Congratulations to Wisconsin. That was one hell of a game. Both teams really battled hard. You know, we knew it was going to be a tough challenge because they have so much offensive power, and we focused really on their transition side of the game and not giving up odd man rushes and controlling the neutral zone. And then we did that very well, I think, and we were getting our chances, as were they. But I was very proud of their defensive side of the game today. I was very proud of how they punched back after a tough loss the last time we played against Wisconsin in the conference title. I think it showed a lot of character. Of not letting that get to them on the high stage. But Kirky, I mean, to get a shutout against one of the best teams in the country at a key moment in your career and way to end, and just very proud of her. And then you have a freshman just lighting the lamp again, and just unbelievable by 2 assists by 2 kids who transferred in, who never won a national championship, that really wanted to come to OSU to have that opportunity. But sorry if I'm rambling, but I feel like I'm at the Oscars. I have to thank everybody. But just very proud in the support of our athletic department here at Ohio State, with Janine and Jean and Ross and the president being here. And it just shows a lot of love, a lot of Buckeye love. You know, just shows a lot of Buckeye love that they give to us. So very grateful. And yeah, we're going to enjoy this moment.
Great, thank you. Open it up for questions for coach and players.
Thank you, Joy. Zachary Rodier, Scarlet Gray Sports Radio. Joy, congratulations. You come out to Ohio State with the dream of winning a national championship, and now as a freshman in your first year, getting the game-winning goal and being a national champion. Just explain what that means to you and how it feels right now.
I mean, like, going back to when I made my decision to come to Ohio State, like, the goal was to win a national championship, to become a player every day. And that's just kind of what happened. Like, when Muzz was recruiting me, like, everything she said was true. And she meant it and she cared. And this team was so much of a family. Yes, I scored the goal, but there's so much in that game. Blocks, great saves. Like, it took a team. It took a village. It took behind-the-scenes work. It took our Monday practices. Like, it took everything. And so just, like, this is what we worked for, and I'm just so thankful because this is an amazing team to win a national championship with.
Reed Murray, the Lantern. Joy, not every freshman is scoring a national championship winning goal. Just what allows you to be comfortable in that environment and make such a moment?
Yeah, again, just behind the scenes, like, we had been just doing the work. My goal on Friday was the same kind of idea. Like, I'd been working on that shot forever. And great line mates set me up for a great pass to just take a shot, but, like, coaches helped me with that. Like, I had been asking questions. Like, it took so much work to get there, but I think having my team and, like, my coaches and my family and, like, Jesus just believe in me, like, I think that's really what just gave me the confidence to just go out and play.
She also comes to Goalie World, so
yes.
We see it firsthand.
Snaps for Goalie World and Logan.
Back here.
Haley Salvian from The Athletic. Nadine, how would you describe the defensive play by Kayla Barnes that kind of ended up in the Joy Dunn game winner?
Well, we knew going against such a great opponent as Wisconsin, we're going to need our leaders to be our experienced players, and that is Kayla Barnes. You know, granted, she's won, like I said yesterday, multiple worlds and a couple Olympic medals, but she desperately was so thirsty for a national championship, and for her to want that so bad, when you itch for something so much, that sometimes you can be not composed and a little rattled, but she was so responsible back there. And then we lost one of our defenders, and to have the 5 of them play that intense of a game, an intense moment, I mean, that's who you want to have the puck on their stick, is somebody like Barnes, because she just has such a high IQ and a great vision of the ice. And she knows to move it fast and be simple with the plays and then move up. So, I mean, obviously it showcased today. But again, I would love to know, you'd probably know this, Haas, is like, is she in the plus 70s now? Because it's got to be up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right over here. Up front.
Nicole Hazy, USCHO. Yesterday, Nadine talked to us about wanting to build a legacy, that one championship is great, but more than one means something. So if all of you could answer a little bit about doing this, but Regan, can you talk a little bit about your journey of where you started and now being here and kind of the transition and all of that to be sitting there with the 2 titles?
Yeah, I think it's hard to put into words, and even I was just saying, like, I'm in my gear, like, that was my last college hockey game. I think I need a moment before I take it all off, but just, yeah, like, freshman year, I don't think would believe that I would be sitting here today, and after, you know, program gets cut and you're on the portal kind of thing, and just getting to find a new home in Ohio State, and just the body of work that we put in every day. And sure, yeah, we won the first one 2 years ago, and that was a tough one last year, and I think everyone just had a chip on their shoulder this year, the revenge tour you might want to call it, but even just like how much work we put in day in and like day out, and we just deserved it so much. I'm just so proud of everybody.
I'd like to give a lot of credit to Kirky, because when we were recruiting her, we knew of her value and how great she was, especially, you know, knowing her from the Canadian side of things with the national team. And she was very interested in us, and I had to be real with her and say, hey, we have 2 goalies that fight for number 1. Right now, you'd be coming in as 3 or 4, and if you want that position, it's fine, but you're going to have to work for the number 1 spot. And she's done that so well over the past couple of years, and to win a title with a shutout just shows like her character and commitment to persevere.
Oh, me? Oh, I think it's really hard for me to speak on this just because, like, so many older girls have just had the more experience. But I think as a freshman, like, we had such great leadership. Like we didn't play in that game last year, but we felt that chip. Like, we felt that hunger for it, just because our leadership was so good. Returners and transfers, like, everyone brought that. And actually, my roommate Joss and I were talking about, like, we know we're freshmen. We don't feel like it. Like, this team, like, we were so close, like, friends with anyone, super just bonded like sisters. And so I just think winning this national championship, we felt that hunger for them because we wanted it too. Like, we wanted our seniors, or the girls that are done with their college, to win this national championship for them, with them, and everything.
Aaron Brown from the Hockey News. This is for Reagan. It seemed like the second period was probably where you faced the most pressure, and specifically there were 2 saves at the very, very end, and I was just wondering if you could take us through the 2 of those.
Yeah, I think I only remember one. The breakaway is probably what you're talking about. Yeah, they're just a very offensively strong team. Like, you have to give them credit, and I think our D, that was probably the best D zone I think we've played, especially with 5D2, probably halfway through the game. For me, like, I practiced breakaways yesterday. Like, you know it's going to happen, and it's just the repetition and being confident in your selection of a save and your read. And they're a very skilled team, and I mean, it can be a momentum changer. That game, you know, it could have been a lot different. So, but the girls, I mean, how many? I don't know what the count was on block shots. Like, that's huge too. So, I have to give credit to them as well. 17.
I think that's a high.
Probably is not.
Probably, yeah.
And Reagan, to follow up on that, just, you know, how do you stay mentally composed and continue to make saves like that when it's such a high stress, tense situation, nothing game?
Yeah, I think for me, like, I just try to treat it like any other game and give it my all and just stay focused. Like, the environment was awesome today too. I kind of thrived off that, and you have to have a little bit of swagger too. I think especially after, you know, last time we played them, you really want to bounce back after a loss like that. But I mean, I was having like time of my life out there. I think you just have to remember, like, it's just hockey game, right? And you gotta have fun. And that was my last college game too, and I get a little emotional. I think I cried the entire time on the ice, but yeah, I just so grateful to have this group with me.
I'll give a shout out to the PWHL, Reagan Kirk.
Hit her up. She'll be coming.
just one more question for me for Nadine. Did it become clear, like at some point midway through this game or heading into the third, that this was going to be like whoever scores first wins?
Absolutely not. Like I said yesterday, it's two heavyweights punching at each other, and such the offensive power that both of us have. I mean, we were averaging just under 5 goals, both teams, a game, and that's ridiculous. That's a lot. I just felt whoever scored in the third, I thought was going to win the game, just because it was such a good defensive side of the game from both teams. I didn't think that there would be much goal scoring. I didn't know, but it was just a feeling of if we can get to that one and then bear down defensively, we could win this thing. And so, yeah, I mean, usually it's high-scoring games, and maybe people play a little more freely when it's like a regular season game, and a little tighter and more defensive-minded, and which was great because, you know, it showcased their talents both sides of the ice on both teams.
Joy, yesterday Wisconsin's head coach said that losing to Ohio State early in the season was a big moment for his freshmen to really mature and help them get to this point. Did you have some kind of, you know, welcome to college hockey kind of moment that helped you really settle in and become the player you are?
Yeah, I was asked that question a while ago, and I don't know if there's a specific moment, but I think for me, like, it was really the stuff behind the scenes. Like, our practices were sometimes harder than our games in a good way. Like, we were just battling, like, we all wanted to win. And so having that moment of, like, this is a team, everyone on it, same goal in mind, same vision, like, we're going to go for it, I think that was, like, my welcome to college hockey. And so going from there, I think just, like, it was just seeing those girls do it. Like, I was just like, okay, I'm going to go do it. Like, if they're doing it, I'm doing it. You know, if coach wants us to do this, like, we're going to do it. So I think it was really the behind-the-scenes stuff is what kind of welcomed me to college hockey.
Reagan, I know throughout this entire season, Muzz has described you as very cool and been able to stay very focused even though there can be a lot going on. When you guys score that goal and now there's around 3 minutes left and you're trying to hold it down, what's going through your mind trying to stay locked in at the same time, but in the last few seconds starting to celebrate a little bit too?
Mm-hmm. I think for me, like, whenever we score, I just remind myself, like, you have to work even harder now. Like, to keep that one on the board, especially that last few minutes in the game. I thought it was icing, so I don't think I even put my hands up right away. But I think it was. I
thought there was another
the game
2
was still
seconds.
going, and even like mentally on the ice, you're just still adrenaline. You're just still in the game. But yeah, it's just keeping like the rhythm and the checklist I keep for myself to stay mentally engaged, even though, you know, clock's kicking down and they're going to pull the goalie, right, and they're so strong offensively. But they were selling out. Like, the block shots again was huge for us today. So yeah.
Down here in front.
Nadine, when you guys won the first one, you talked about how when you were offered the job, you were like, oh, I don't know, and your husband kind of said, go build a legacy, go do it there. Can you just talk a little bit about now being in the position, getting the second win, sort of having that foundation to build what you wanted to build?
Yeah, great question. Well, I feel it's a lot harder, well, I shouldn't say easier, but to build from the ground up versus now when you're on the top of the mountain, hence the peak of the mountain is very small because not many people can stand there for very long. And so it's going to be, I think, a different challenge, not maybe harder or easier, but a different challenge. Give a lot of credit to my family for giving me the opportunity to be here, because when I took the job, I had an 8-month-old and a 2-year-old. You see them running around now. They're older. But, yeah, you know, as much as I took a chance on Ohio State took a chance on me because I was just a second assistant at Minnesota, my alma mater. We had a lot of success, but a lot of people at Ohio State believed in me and what I could do, and with the support staff, with my with the players that we recruit, it's been a lot easier, because people want to come. It was harder in the beginning because, like I said before, we didn't have the geographical location. We don't have the rink. It's hard to draw kids in, but obviously winning helps. But legacies obviously take time too is fantastic. And I want to push to obviously 3 and more, but it's going to take continued time and effort. And as long as me and my staff know and the players don't get comfortable, because you don't want to be, part of history. You want to continue to push and be the future as well.
Any last questions for the coach or players? No? Yeah, one here. Yeah. And we'll take one last one back there, too.
Coach, you said after winning the Julianne By Cup that this is the most skilled team you've coached. But at what point did you know that, and what defines this team and sets it apart from other teams you've coached?
Well, on paper, I knew that pretty quickly before the season started with how who we recruited in the transfer portal. I knew on paper, individually, they were very talented. We lost our first game, which actually is another, well, not a milestone, but we haven't done that before, losing the first game since I coached Ohio State. But I knew the things that I was worried about in the beginning of the year weren't going to be the problems at the end of the year. It was just us meshing and creating our chemistry and our thing. But yeah, I think I knew early what the talent was on this roster. But again, you have to put it all together, and you have to trust that they have the mindset to do it as well. Because again, it's blow for blow every game of two great teams going to battle. But I really think our seniors, I had a good conversation with them on Thursday night with the 10 of them about their responsibility of getting this done as a collective unit. Yes, we have 3 captains, but there's 10 of you that you got to speak up and be very vocal in that locker room. And that's why you're here.
Kyle Heavey, WMUR TV. Reagan, you kind of mentioned it, 4,378 fans, third largest attended championship game in women's college hockey history. Can you talk about the atmosphere on the ice from all the fans that have traveled here from Ohio and afar to witness you guys win it?
Yeah, I mean, we always say it's Ohio against the world, and I think that showed today, like, the people who drove, not even just flying, in which that's difficult enough, but just driving over just to support us. And there's no guarantee, Friday you get that game, there's no guarantee you get Sunday. So that support, and we've had it all season, like we sell out nearly every home game, which maybe isn't a lie because I'm not sure what the attendance is, but one day, and we're building, and just the support has been incredible. So yeah, it was really amazing out there. You felt it, like both ends, Wisconsin, Ohio, like the band I think was battling, like that was awesome too. So yeah.
You enjoyed New Hampshire?
I do, yeah. It's very pretty here, and we had a great time. So they took care of us very well. It was awesome.
We do well in blue rinks. So I'm liking the blue. Sorry, Janine, not that.
Not that blue.
Not the TTUN blue, the UNH blue.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much, coach and players. Congratulations on your second national championship.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gonna go enjoy that now.